Welcome to another episode of Tangential Thoughts Chat Show. And on today's episode of Cigar Talk, we'll be looking at quotes from season 1 of Peaky Blinders. And so normally I would have done a live stream segment for Cigar Talk. However, I had to return my hotspot back to the library. And so I'm back on the waiting list. And once I get another hotspot, I'll be able to do some more live stream content. In the meantime, between time, I'll be focusing on some long form content, recording straight from my phone and uploading directly to my channel, which is something I needed to work on anyway, because I've been doing a lot of live streams and a lot of short form content, and I needed to work on long form content anyway. And so the inspiration, motivation behind today's episode of Cigar Talk actually comes from my book, Tangential Thoughts. So Tangential Thoughts is a guided journal that is filled with quotes and pictures. Now, some of the quotes you may have heard before, and some of the quotes I heard in conversation. And these are a collection of quotes that really resonated with me. And so the book has a quote, has my response to the quote, and then on the other side, it gives you a chance to journal as you go on your own path of self-discovery, of understanding who you are, your emotions, why you think and feel a certain way, or just at least give you that space to jot and ideas down. And so as you can kind of see, this is one of my manifestations, is that when we cross paths, we'll be able to take some Polaroid pictures together to capture our memory. If we smoke a cigar, or if I smoke a cigar, I'll put the band in there, or I'll put it on my NASCAR jacket, and we'll be able to journal or just get down, you know what I'm saying, anything significant about our experience together. And so that's my book, Tangential Thoughts, shameless plug. Version 2 is also out on Amazon. So this is the first version. The second version is Tangential Thoughts, Project Extinction, PJ, XTN, CTN. So both versions are available for purchase on Amazon. Please make sure you check that out. But what got me into doing this segment of Cigar Talk was the show Peaky Blinders. And so the reason I started watching the show is because I was looking at a character analysis video on YouTube one day. I was looking at a character analysis video, and one of the main characters was analyzed in that video, and I thought it was cool. And so I was scrolling through Netflix, and I saw the character's face, and I'm like, I remember this face, and I want to watch this show. And so I clicked on it and started watching it. Now, instantly, I'm big on that. Like, some people ask, like, what are you interested in? Is it, you like love, romance, thriller? Like, I know good. And it doesn't matter if it's music or anything. Like, if it's not good within the first, for a song, if it's not good within the first 30 seconds, I'm cutting it off. Like, if I don't vibe with it, if it's taking too long to get where it gotta go to catch my attention, I'm not rocking with it. With a show, I'll try to stick through one show. But if that one show ain't good, I'm not sticking with it. So, but I started watching the show, and as soon as I get to a quote, as soon as I hear something that I like, I was like, oh, let me write that. I was like, that's something I want to whatchamacallit. It might have happened twice. And once I heard maybe one or two things that I like, because it's one thing, like, let me just watch this. Oh, I like that. I'll try to just keep it in my mind. But if I hear something else, I'm like, oh, this ain't about to start going. I need to write these down. And so I didn't have my journal with me. So I went and grabbed some paper. I grabbed 2 sheets of paper, and I just started watching the show. And I was just writing down quotes that I like from the show. And so I've been meaning to, there were 2 episodes or 2 versions of Cigar Talk that I wanted to do. One was with the Peaky Blinders, just reading those quotes. Another was with me painting. And then once I had to return my hotspot back to the library, I was like, I'm not gonna be able to do a live form version of my Cigar Talk. So let me at least go ahead and try to get these segments, get them uploaded, record them. And if my cigar lasts, I'll move from one activity to the next. And so the one that I know for sure I could get through was reading the quotes. And then I would move to the painting. Well, what I kind of want to do with my painting was, I wanted to do a time lapse with the painting anyway. You know what I'm saying? I went to do a time-lapse paint with that anyway. So, and me trying to smoke a cigar and paint and talk, that would have been too much, because I was going to try to mesh the two ideas together. So I was like, you know what? I can just do a video reading the quotes from Peaky Blinders, giving my review on that while I smoke my cigar. Simple, ain't got to do too much. I could do a separate video of me painting, and I could do a time lapse, do an overlay, and that's less content. I got to edit it in one sitting anyway. So my drink, I got the Rockstar Fruit Punch. If it was up to me, no, not knocking Rockstar, but flavor-wise, Monster Pacific Punch is my flavor and energy drink that I really do go for, but Monster is a lot more expensive. Now this one, I'm rocking with this one. This is good. It's still the fruit punch flavor, still energy drink, and it got the 250 calories. And so I had a Red Bull when I was walking, when I was taking that sad walk back to the library to return the hotspot. And so I got this one, so my energy is going to start ramping up maybe at some point. But I like that to keep my energy going. I like for my mind. I like to be receiving ideas and things like that. Now, cigar, I want to shout out Naza Maven Media. She has completely, I would say, sponsored this episode. She got me cigars. She gave me money to get cigars, but she took me to the cigar lounge. She gave me the money to get some cigars. She bought me energy. She bought me a pack of energy drinks, and I have chips. And so, shout out to Naza for that. But today's cigar is La Aroma de Cuba, El Jefe. La Aroma de Cuba, El Jefe. And so, like I already told you, I keep the cigar bands now, and I put them on my NASCAR jacket. And when I'm looking at cigars, I do look at, the width, length of them. Well, I was a math teacher, so let's really talk about that stuff. I look at the circumference of it. Generally, no homo. You don't want it too big, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you do want something. For me, I want something that's for size-wise, I want something a little bit bigger, because, I guess that in your mind, you think that it would take longer to smoke. And so I look at that. This part of the band, I'll probably put into my notebook. So let me just keepsake it. Let me go ahead and put that right now into my wallet. Boom. So I'll probably put that into my notebook. I'll probably glue that into my notebook. The band is not coming off right now. And so the band is easier to take off once the cigar is lit and that heat is coming through, and that kind of loosens up the glue. And so the bands, I want to make sure I save those, keep those intact as much as I can. Maybe I like a little burnt on it, you know what I'm saying? But I'll take the bands off and I'll glue it to my NASCAR jacket. So let me go ahead and get my cigar lit. And we're just gonna hotbox the whip, you know what I'm saying? Hotbox the whip. First thing you want to do with that cigar is cut it. All right, cigar is cut. But yeah, the way I kind of look at cigars, I look at the bands. I'm an artist. If the band doesn't attract me, I don't even go for it. You know what I'm saying? I don't even go for it. So the band gotta attract me. After the band, I'll look at how it smokes. You know what I'm saying? So. All right, cigar is cut. And now I can get it lit. Let's see. It take a little minute because it's a daggone Dollar Tree lighter. All right, we good. Let me see. Nice, nice, nice. All right, we lit. All right. Let's go. So, Peaky Blinders Season 1. Quotes. Now, if I spoil it for you, I spoil it for you. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't take away from the visuals. And if anything, it might make you want to go watch it for yourself. Now, as I was going through, just watching the show, certain stuff stuck out to me. So I'm going to read the quotes that resonated with me that I liked. First quote. The difference between me and you, my horses have a chance of winning. I like that. In a literal sense, yes, he's like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, my horses are better than your horses. I have legit horses. In a general sense, though, what I liked about it, how I wanted to apply is that, you know, when I set out to do something, I have full confidence and faith that I'm going to be successful. My horses have a chance of winning. And the reason I kind of even say that is I know that when I prepare, I stop there. It's the fact that I prepare. Failure to plan is planning to fail. And I think that's from Denzel, and I think that's one of the quotes that's in Tangential Thoughts. But I prepare first. So that's one. And I know that in combination with my preparation, I also have a lot of determination. So determination plus preparation equals a high chance of success. When I set out to do something, I have a high chance of success. And his point behind saying that, though, was the other guy, you could look at him in a sense of, you don't take the time to prepare. You don't take time to think things through of how they might go, to weigh out the consequences of your actions. Or you just might not be doing things legitimately. You might be doing things illegitimately. or you have an underhanded way of accomplishing a task. And so I like that quote. The difference between me and you, my horses have a chance of winning. Next one. She said, I know having 4 kids and no mother is hard, but my boot is harder. Like, I kick your ass. You know what I'm saying? And so what I wrote down to kind of paraphrase that was, I know life is hard, but my boot is harder. And that's what I had wrote down. But she had literally said having 4 kids and no mother. But if I was gonna kidnap somebody, like, even if I was to have kids, I'm like, yo, I know life is getting down on you, but like, if I gotta come down on you, that's gonna make it, you know what I'm saying? So the reason I kind of like that quote is the fact that she was just getting him in line, you know what I'm saying, with something like that. Like, yo, I know times is tough. A quote that comes to my mind that might be, I think that's in my book too, is tough times don't last, tough people do, because tough people will stick through and endure hard times. But she was trying to basically get at him, like, she was correcting him in the sense that he had left his gun out and some kids had found it. And so she was like, yo, you can't be slipping up like this. And I know you got a lot to handle, but I'm gonna have to put my foot in your behind to get you back right. Next one. She put her name in there, so when I say Q, that's where she put her name, right? She said, speak. God and Q are listening. And I wrote it down because I want to say that to somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's like, go ahead and speak. Me and God are listening. Like, speak your truth. Confess. That's something to say to somebody. Like, yeah, I'm right here. You right here. It's me, you, and God. Let's have this conversation. Talk to me. Speak your piece. Speak truthfully. God is listening. Me and God are listening. Speak. I like that, boy. Speak. Me and God are listening. Whether 2 or 3 are gathered, right? So I like that one. I think within that same conversation, she said, you have your mother's common sense, your father's devilment. I see them fighting. Let your mother win. Now, the mother and the father could have been actual allusions to those characters. Like the mother, like his mother could have been the very sensible one. His father could be the very wild one, raucous one. And so, however, because I think those could be interchanged. Like, you have your father's common sense and your mother's devilment. I see them fighting. But she's basically saying, use your common sense. You know what I'm saying? In that situation, that's what she wanted. She said, let your mother win. But then just to think about that, play with that, that's even like a conscience. You know how I say with your conscience, you got one here, one there. And again, this is one of my books called Tangential Thoughts, because I like to go off on tangents like this. So you do have left and right brain. One is very logical, and that could be the masculine male energy. Boom. And then you got the feminine creative right side. And that could be one. Which one are you using? Which one are you going to use in any given instance? because it say, use your common sense. Common sense and devilment. Would you put common sense in logical side, or would you put common sense on the creative side? And I think you would put that on the logical side. It's not about agreeing or disagreeing. It's just because devilment sounds creative to me. You get into some trouble. But that's not you using your better logic. So. All right, so let's see, next quote. When the cop came. So I always think about, like, because I used to be a teacher. And so whenever, and I've seen changes in infrastructure from top down, you know what I'm saying? Even when a superintendent is coming in. Now they say, in conversation I've heard with people, you know what I'm saying, picking up on their wisdom and advice, that if you're going to step into the role of a superintendent, you probably shouldn't do that alone. Why? Because you're going to be up against a whole team of people who've already been there, who already are set in their ways and set in a third, and it's going to be harder for you to get stuff going. So this cop comes into town, but he come with his own team. I'm like, that's what you're supposed to do. And then this is what he says to the cops already there. I don't trust you until you earn my trust. And that takes some earning. Now, that takes some big cojones. You know what I'm saying? To step into any type of room, any type of situation and say, yo, I don't trust you until you earn my trust. That's one thing. But then he said that takes some earning. Like, yeah, it's going to take, I ain't about to just trust you because this ain't that. Like, you going to have to earn my trust. Establishing that off rip. I don't trust you. That's something big to say to anybody, any one person, or especially a group of people. I don't trust you until you earn my trust, and that's going to take some earning. But I respect that. I like what he said. I like that. Then I had a fashion idea. I like how their uniforms had... Now, Peaky Blinders is set in 1919, so this is after World War I, and it's in England. And so they had numbers on their collars, like metal numbers on their collars. I like that. I really did like that. And so I was like, I want to have a fashion idea, somehow putting numbers, you know what I'm saying, on the collar or something. Like, I really did appreciate that. I like that. And how does he end his speech? He said, God help those who stand in our way. But I put our and put my. God help those who stand in my way. You know what I'm saying? And he said just like, God help those who stand in my way. Who stand in our way. And he, you know what I'm saying? Boom. I like that, bro. I like that. All right, next. Like, oh, think like an immediately next thing right behind that. Now, dude walk in with two shorties and they skipped the line. He's like, yo, when you with me? Well, he says, when you with a blinder, you don't have to queue. Like, you don't gotta wait in line. And he's like, I want a blowjob from both of y'all. Like, yeah, you're gonna take it out, blah, blah, blah. But then the cops come bust him up, right? As soon as he do that, cops come bust him. I like that, though, of what was about to happen. Cause that's some boss pimp stuff to do. Walking with two Johns, saying, I want a blowjob. I want both of y'all to neck me out right now. That's some boss stuff to do. They rough him up, right? Cops come through, rough him up. He said, then cop come around the corner, he say, see, this is my way of introducing myself to you. I said, dang. Next quote I wrote. again, I like some of this stuff because it's like, what are some of you gonna be? If you the first time you meet somebody, right? How do you talk to them? What do you say? First thing dude say to the one shorty, she opened up the blinds, or she opened up the thing. Mind you, he get whatever he wants. So, and it's her time. It's her first time new. She new in the scene. So, dude told her like, yo, whatever you want, it's on the house. Da da da. And so, when she opened up, when she come back to the windows in that third, first thing his first words to her are you a whore? And he follows up. He said, if not, you're in the wrong place. I thought that was cool. And then there's one guy has to get killed. And so when they go to kill him, he says, yo, you got any last requests? I'm big on perspective. And so in hearing his last request, I teared up. Not that I didn't cry, but if I wanted to cry, I could have. You know what I'm saying? If I wanted to feel it more, but I was really just trying to put myself in perspective. Like, yo, because he asked him, he said, hey, man, you got any last requests? And so what he started saying is like, yo, bury me on a hill and to make sure, you know, my wife knows where I'm buried. He says, make sure my kids get regular jobs. Don't put them in the same lifestyle that I was in, that we had to go through. And so what got me was just like, yo, like, if you got to say your last words, your last request, like, what are you really going to say? What are you going to wish for? If it's your last word, he's like, man, fuck, I'm about to go out. Well, shit, these are my last requests. Now, because my thing about, you know, one of the things about dying, even if you're going to have a last request, you have no guarantee that your request is going to be fulfilled. You have none. Unless you got to trust that whoever that you're talking to, whoever you're speaking to, whoever's going to, that they're going to fulfill your last request. You no longer fucking live here. And you got to trust that people are going to fulfill your last wishes and continue on some type of legacy. You got to have hope that they're going to bury you in the right place, where you want to be buried, how you want to be buried. Some people want to be cremated. Some people want their ashes spread over the ocean. If you got your last request, like, it's like, I just think about perspective, yo, like, what would you really ask for? And you ain't even going to be here. So it's a what if. It's still a what if, but let's say it does happen. Let's say they do fulfill your wishes and requests, and you no longer fucking exist. What are you really going to ask for? What are you really going to say? What are you going to ask for? What are you really going to say? Let me check my timer real quick. All right. My phone is on 10%. My phone is on 10%. And my mobile chargers are not with me. Crazy. Okay. But I'm through the first page. Other thing I like, he said, you sure this isn't heaven? The boy was like, well, if it was, what would I be doing here? Damn, that was all episode 1. That was episode 1. Okay, more quotes. I'm gonna try to speed this up. I got 10%. Episode 2. I don't know why, but I just wrote it down. I said, before last night's beer turns to piss, and wakes devils up. And so he's like, man, before these people get up and they piss out that alcohol that they was just consuming the night before and they started up, go ahead and wake them up. I wrote down this, whatchamacallit, when they found out this new cop is in town, it's on the 3rd, they have a family meeting, she was like, y'all need to go out there and still make sure that y'all are still the cocks of the walk. You know that Peaky Blinders still run the yard. And so you kind of understand, hopefully you understand that Peaky Blinders is a gang by now. Next thing I wrote, he said, you don't parley when, I gotta read my handwriting, where you're on the back foot, you strike back first. And so he's like, yo, he took a strike at us, we need to strike back first. We ain't chilling, we ain't about to, cause the dude wanted to have a meeting with him. He was like, nah, you strike back first and then you have a meeting. Then you start calling some shots. One girl turned out to be pregnant, god damn it. All the fucking weak leak in the family. She got pregnant by the ops. Then in the show, dude actually had a bullet with his name on it. Shit's tough. If you find a fucking bullet, and that was a hint, like a sign, like, here's a bullet with your fucking name on it, bitch. That's some shit. Ooh. Then they said this one John, it's like, you know the words. You're a whore. The baby's a bastard. But there's no word for the man who doesn't come back. And I thought about that shit. There's no name for that shit. Like, there's no one word for the man who abandons his child. The mother's a whore. You slept with a man that don't even want to be there around you for the baby, to help you raise his baby. The baby's not a bastard. He has no fucking dad. That's some shit. I like what he said to the other girl. He said, do you think I tell people things? Because she said something to me like, do you think I tell people things? Like, that's some shit I would say to somebody, like, boom, boom, boom. Let me see next quote. I don't know what the fuck I was writing right here. I wrote it too fast. So to keep going though, he said, remember what Pops told you. Fast women and slow horses will ruin your life. Next. Oh, when they be talking about this dude, when he fucking show up in this shit, he come asking, first of all, coming with a fucking entourage. The entourage coming before him. He walked back through this bitch. He say, is there a man named Shelby in here? Those are his first words. Is there a man named Shelby? Who? And then nobody said that. He put, he said, I repeat myself, boom, boom, like he came in rowdy, boy, bullshit. And I like how he addressed him. He said, who's the boss? Who am I talking to here? He said, okay, right. You're the oldest, you're the thickest, and you're the one looking at me up and down this and the third. So you must be the one they talk to. Oh, and then I like this part. He said, I never heard of you, and then I did hear of you, and now you have my undivided attention. I want to know what you want. And then another response was, nobody works with me, people work for me. He walked the fuck out. It's a question. And then I like this. Let me check my percentage. Okay. We're doing good on percentage, We're at 8%, All right. This other John, I just like the statement. He says, he about to start a conversation, but he says, I got a question. It's a question about who knows what about what. Some shit. All right. Got a good, pretty length on this right here, on the joint. That's smooth. But I'm gonna go ahead and tap it out. Oh, and it actually would have stayed up. All right, so let's see. All right, cigar band is moving. All right, good. Okay. I'm going to take the cigar band off. take the cigar band off. Boom. Let me put it in my... I feel the heat on this cigar. All right, cigar band is off. Do I want this? No, I don't want to mess it up. I'm about to just take it off. I'm gonna take that one off so that's smooth. Okay. All right. That was the first 2 episodes. Those quotes came from the first 2 episodes. All right. Episode 3. The girl, she's talking to dude. She says she wants a honeymoon that goes on forever. That's beautiful. Honeymoon that goes on forever. And then one lady, he was like, you don't think I can handle so and so? She says, you can't, and I'm twice the man you are. All right, let's keep going. Now, they're trying to persuade the one guy, and his response is, would you ladies let a man sleep on it? He doesn't want to make a quick move. Not only does he not want to make a quick move, he doesn't want to let them know what he really is about to plan to do. And so they're like, then they even kind of, they can even kind of tell like, fuck, he about to go and do his own shit right now. He buying more time, but at the same time, he said, would you ladies let a man sleep on it? It's like, what the fuck are you gonna say to this person like that? All they asking for is a little more time. No brass decisions. Next quote, killing a man affects the heart. I don't know how, but you know what I'm saying? You can only imagine if you kill somebody, how that would just plague your mind over and over. That's that recurring nightmare. How could that affect you and just living with that? He said, you loaded Ada with your bastard. Other one. This one hit me too. Lies travel faster than truth. And I'm always like, why, yo? Why do people believe a lie quicker than they believe the truth? Even when they don't know the truth. They'll believe a lie first. Lies travel faster than truth. Dude said whiskey and smoke. I call that my sweetheart. Now, it gets to this point where he low-key is about to pimp the girl out. And how he goes up to her. He says, yo, we're going to have dinner at such and such place. I have a little more business to talk with this person, so I want you to go ahead and I'm going to get there. Just wait till I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Then he says, everyone is a whore. We just sell different parts of ourselves. I really like that. Everyone is a whore. We just sell different parts of ourselves. And he put it like this. He said, I gave him 2 hours. He thinks he's a lady, man. See if he can seduce you. Whenever you want, just kick him in the balls. And he's like, that's basically a way of getting out of this shit. And then when they got there, you know what I'm saying? His first thing was, you ever been in a house this big, baby? He said, you like a fucking, what did he say to her? You look like a, I think he said, a movie star or something like that. Whatever. Oh, and then it's getting hot and heavy in there, and then dude has a change of heart, and so this is how he gets her out of it. He put her in this situation. This is how he get out of it. He says, listen, he ain't even really break framing or nothing, but he's like, listen, I was gonna let you go through with this, but she has to clap. I said, come on, man. That shit was hilarious. He said, she has to clap. She has syphilis, yeah. And so that's how he kind of got out of it. He's like, yeah, she's a whore. This not that, boom, boom. That was episode 3. Episode 4. When dude about to try, he called a family meeting. He want to get everybody together to let him know that he about to get married. He said, y'all know how it's been since such and that. And the one lady said, you know, God takes the best first. And then like the shorty that he want to marry is a prostitute, and everybody know it. And they're like, yo, if anybody calls her a whore, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna take my gun, shove it down their throat, and blow the words back down to their heart. I like that. He said something along those lines. I'm messing the quote up. I'm gonna keep going. The one girl, the one lady, yo, she's never done a day's work vertical. I mean, like, she always on her back. She always, you know what I'm saying, boom, boom, boom. And he was like something about brave. He said something about the word brave. She said, brave is going where no man has gone. She said, and that's not what you're gonna be doing. Keep it going. She said, yo, I would tell you to put your hand in the Bible, but you don't believe in that. Somebody else says, I would do things to shame the devil. And then when boy had said something, he not too wild, but he had said something to the other cop. He said, your face is a picture. And I like what the one girl said. And these are my last few quotes. After this, I start writing. The seasons are only 6 episodes. That lets you know how legit. Each episode is about an hour long, and it only has 6 episodes. So you can definitely binge watch this within a day. You know what I'm saying? Because I watched the whole first season of that. Next one, I like what the girl said. She said, may you be in heaven a full half hour before the devil knows you're dead. When the guy had a change of heart, she said, is that a heartbeat I hear in that chest? I like that. And then it was just a crazy little sequence of events because the boy saw his baby and the cops came and took him right then and there. And then I like what he put a black star in the girl's writing. And he said, that's the day that we're going to do X, Y, and Z. And so, like, even within my journal, I put like certain little, I have my own code for my journal. So I put like just different things or symbols in my book, and that marks it. I know what it signifies for me, but it might not signify for somebody else who might be reading my journal. But nobody should be reading my journal, but yeah. All right. This has been another episode of Cigar Talk. I love how it got super smoky in here, hotboxing the whip. And so I still got a lot of cigar left. I'm hype about that. And so I could kind of sort of, you know what I'm saying, smoke the rest of the cigar while I'm painting my picture with Bailey. But that will be another episode. And so thank you for your time, energy, patience, and attention. My next video, my next episode of Cigar Talk will be me painting a picture of me and Bailey. It'll be mixed media because I think I'm going to use my gouache and acrylics, maybe some markers, some spray paint. We'll just see. And we'll see how it goes. But thank you so much for your time, energy, patience, and attention. This has been another episode of Tangential Chat Show, and I'll see you on the next segment.